Hello and welcome to my world of crochet. My name is Stine and today I'm here with you for another yarn talk video. And as always, we can't talk about yarn without my faithful mug of tea, and today this is the loose darjeeling tea blend that I have, which I usually stock up when I am in Germany. Absolutely wonderful darjeeling from the top of the mountains of the Himalayas, not much more to say. This past week has been crazy. I've not reached to crochet a lot. I will absolutely admit that. Even this video is a bit late, right? So the thing is that this weekend I was away for an event, and when we were building up for the event, I was helping them voluntarily. When we were building up for this event, it was so cold that I felt cold to the bone. We had too little sleep, not intentionally, but to make sure things were running all right. And yeah, I was just wrecked when I got home for Sunday evening. And when I was home Sunday evening, I think I was awake for half an hour just checking my emails, and I went to bed. And I brought this stuff with me to crochet to start a new shopper bag, but I did not even have the time to make a single stitch. There was constantly something to do, and yeah, well, in one way it was good. I saw a lot of people that I haven't seen for many years. I was very happy to see them. We got to talk a bit and so on, so that was really pleasant. But yes, I was wrecked, and it took me a few days to actually come by. And this is probably where my specialist would tell me, Stine, do not forget you have an autoimmune disease. And I'm like, yeah, I'm trying to forget because I don't want it to define me. But honestly, I was not in doubt when I was home. I slept out Monday. I was still pretty wrecked. My bones were still sore, etc. Then we finally got started, but I just didn't have the energy to go live either Wednesday. Yesterday, just to add on to the week, I decided to crash with my bike on the way home from seeing my physiotherapist and doing my groceries. And yeah, I just slid out with the tire. I assume that I might have hit a leaf. The biking path was wet. And I simply just slipped out over the edge and was trying to correct and hold my balance, and I failed doing so, and I just basically crashed, slided, laying across the whole biking road, or the bicycling path. And that hurt pretty nasty. I was grabbing some of the weight with my hand, which kind of I don't have the feeling I have much muscle right now in my right hand, just because it's still healing from basically taking my weight off. My two knees slammed into the ground, and I have blue marks, to say the least. The asphalt was not kind to me. I did not hit my head. I'm not concussious or anything like that. I just have some really nasty bruises and some blue marks on my knees. And my bike is all right, and magically enough, do believe it or not, and you may laugh, the eggs I had in my bag remained whole after the crash. I have no clue how I did so, but I must have protected them with my body or something like that. In any way, that crash basically caused me to just decompress a bit yesterday and just, get by and so on. So in that sense, it's pretty lucky that I'm right now not having an official job. And also been talking with all these parts. My unemployment payment has been approved, and that will last me until the end of January. That said, I do have a small company next to this, where they estimate that I work about 13 hours a month, and they are very clear about that I can't work more than those 13 hours a month because that's free time. So anything I make extra, there will be deducted from my pay. So then it's good that hobby right now currently is a hobby, right? Crocheting is my hobby and not a place where I'm earning income, because that would be horrible not to be able to allow it to be crochet more. But so I haven't crocheted a lot, which means that I haven't done a lot, obviously, but we have done some. I have progressed some on some projects. I really have. So let's talk about them because I have an overview of how far we are and what my plans are. I just want to kind of relieve my load on this past week. Has been crazy. It's not an excuse for not have done anything. It's more the explanation for why I haven't. It was to say the least a quite crazy week, but I did enjoy it. Except for the biking crash. I really felt old. I haven't crashed with my bike since I was maybe in my teens. It happens. And luckily nothing happened, so we can also say things. Luckily I didn't break anything or the like. We go through my projects, my current WIPs in chronological order. I have no finished WIPs for you. I have a WIP that's almost finished. And we will talk about that at the very end towards the end of this video, because it's one of those that I started at the last, so not this current one. I have actually 2 almost finished projects, I should say. But I also have some that is the eternal ongoing projects. And the first one of those is the Fleur Mosaic blanket. And the Fleur Mosaic blanket is an absolutely gorgeous mosaic blanket. It is a work leather round. It's designed by Anke Wintermans. She's a Dutch designer. You can get and purchase her patterns on a Ravelry. So I have linked to that pattern in the description box down below. I have to say instantly, I did not reach to progress anything on Fleur since last time, simply because I had so little time. So we are still sitting at row 56 out of our row 129. At row 67, we have to change color. So the current background color, which is the claret, red claret, goes into a Fuchsia Purple. So that is in about 11 rounds. I am currently working on round 57. So this is how we're looking at. This is round 57. And I did a bit, so I started here. So a bit more than a side and almost half. So here you can really see how that progresses on. It's it's single crochets and double crochets. The single crochets goes in the back loop, and the double crochets goes in the front loop of the previous row. And this is basically how you create these absolutely gorgeous mosaic patterns. And I think this is turning out really gorgeous. We talked about it many times before. My project here is very closely becoming so big it cannot be in my project crate. So I might need to find a different solution for this, at least temporarily, while I'm working on it. Not sure what I'm doing yet. I have an idea because I have a bigger box somewhere where it could fit in, but that contains yarn, and would it make sense to empty it temporarily or put the yarn somewhere else? I will have to think about that. I will have to see if I might have another place where this yarn could be. Right now, I'd rather not take it out of that box. So yeah, this is basically how we are looking at the back side of it. And you can see here where I move the yarn up along as I do each row. It keeps remaining gorgeous. You know, I'll just keep progressing on this. Since I do have a couple of projects I'm working on, and I do hope to finish up some projects next week. Normally I would start a new project, but I do have a few plans for that. And I'm not sure I'm going to start. I might start new projects before next week. But I'm not completely sure how and what. It could also be that I choose to put in the extra time I might have free on working on this, because it is an eternity project, right? So to prevent it takes an eternity, it would make sense to work a bit on it. I do cake up the skeins. I'm using the Stylecraft Special DK yarn, which is 100% acrylic yarn. It's a premium acrylic, in fact. It's 3.5 ounce skeins, so 100 grams to 99 meters, which is about 322 yards. I am using a 4mm crochet hook for the whole project, and I am trying not to let this hook move too far away from this crate. And looking at how it's currently stacked up in the crate, yes, I need a new project bin for it. I'm not sure I can do more than 2 or 3 more rows before I'm really not able to squeeze it down here, because now it really, when it's folded, it goes really from one edge to the next. So yes, I will need a new project crate. It's just a fact. So we'll have to have a look at what I have, and then see if I have a project crate that could be suitable for this. Then after that, this summer I started working on the Thoughts of Ireland shawl. The Thoughts of Ireland shawl is made in 100% alpaca. It is from the DROPS Alpaca, so it is also a DROPS design. And the design is a free pattern on DROPS. We are challenged. I have been challenged with this. I've frocked it a few times, simply because I either didn't read the pattern in full and whatnot. I am missing 2 rows and then I'm finished. It's 2 shell type rows, so they're very shell alike. And once those have been added, I'm done. I need to block it, and then that's it pretty much. And I feel it should be bigger, but then when I read the measurements, maybe it's pretty accurate actually, because also it's not blocked yet. Once blocked, it will stretch out a bit more, but this is where we are. So it's not as big as I thought it would be, but as I said, it's this, you know, you can see it so easy when I do like this. Like when I don't do anything, it kind of falls together, but I can so easily stretch it. So it needs blocking. It definitely needs blocking. This is what I have left on my current skein. I have 2 more skeins. Once I'm done, I think I will have more than that left than what I needed, which is all right. If I have more than a full skein left, I might try to double this with an acrylic and throw that into a hat or a shawl or headband or something like that, just to use up the yarn. It's a nice yarn, it's a soft yarn, it adds a bit of warmth. DROPS Alpaca mix, it's a color alive. It is 1.8 ounce skeins, so 50 grams to 167 meters, so it's about 183 yards. 100% alpaca, and it's a quite thin yarn. I've been using my 3.25mm crochet hook, which is also known as a D hook. And yeah, I have 2 more of these skeins left, and I need to do a bunch of shell rows. I should have enough yarn, and we will see how much I have left and what I can possibly use those yarns for. But it would make sense to at least to try use them up, I would say. And I'm curious how far we get, but it seems to be a smaller type of shawl in the end, right? So it's, yeah, it's not as big as I had imagined it to be. But maybe it helps once it's blocked, and if not, then it's just gonna be like that. But on the other hand, when I did read it, they did say in the description somewhere between 50 to 60 centimeters from top to bottom. That's probably gonna be pretty close to this once those 2 shell rows are in. So yeah, the goal is, and I can almost ensure that is going to happen, is to, well, I expect this to happen at least, to finish those 2 rows and then to have this shawl completed. And I really wanted to get a block, but that would 100% depend on how my knees feel after the stunt I did yesterday. So if my knees are right, I might reach to block it next week. But if my knees doesn't feel like crawling around on the knees because I still have pain, that will have to wait a week. And that's just how it's gonna be, because I need to listen a bit to my body. That's simple. What is that means that my current DROPS project will very likely be finished next week. It's Yarn Talk video, and I need a new project to work on. And what I did when I went through the Sort My Stash video, when you saw all my DROPS yarns, was that I decided to only work on one DROPS design compared to yarn, etc. At time. And therefore, what I want to do is I want to put up a poll for my members, and then my members can vote what project I should start on working next. And if there's a tie, then we will put up a poll for the general community. So far, I think we will let the poll run until and with Wednesday. So I'll put it up probably later today or Saturday. And it will run for a few days to let my members make a decision. And if there is a clear winner, then that is a project I will be starting working on once I finish this. And if there isn't a clear winner, then the rest of the community can get to help deciding what drops project I should start on working next. But yeah, so all cheers to finishing the Thoughts of Ireland, hopefully next week. That is definitely my goal. I said only 2 rounds left. It is a bunch of shell stitches, so it is a lot of stitches. It's still probably a couple of hours work, I'd imagine. But it's close to finish, and that's what's nice, right? I can sit down once I get started on one of these rows. It's really simple repeat, and I can probably sit and watch television or something like that while doing it. So times go faster. That's nice. Or yeah, bring it with me somewhere. Then what I did have time to work on, and that's also what I definitely have been working on some of the time, next to the fact that I worked a bit on the Thoughts of Ireland because I did some rows, I started working on the Aranel Shawl, and the Aranel Shawl is worked up in my 4.5mm crochet hook. It is with a YarnArt Flowers Alpaca cake. And I'm working the Aranel Shawl. The Aranel Shawl is designed by K.A.M.E Crochet. She's a Hungarian designer. You can get her patterns both on Hobby and on Ravelry. I got this pattern on Hobby. Hobby recommends using their Wheel of Alpaca, Hobby's Wheel of Alpaca, which is more or less the same as YarnArt's Alpaca, Flowers Alpaca, which I have here. And you can see that I'm definitely getting good into the skein here. And that fits because I'm looking at the pattern and I'm very close to starting the next section of it. I need to do 4 more rows and then I need to read the pattern carefully. But if I do remember right, so what's happening is we are right here right now. This is where we are. And, you know, we can try to sort of hold it up. As you can see, it is definitely growing. We are working here side to side. What I do here, I have no increases here and I only do these bubble fan stitches, and then I work half double crochets all the way until here, where I work in 2 half double crochets in the last stitch. I turn the row, work in 2 half double crochets in the first stitch, work half double crochets all the way to the end here, turn around, make this etc. In 4 rows time, I'm needing to start working in these lovely bubble stitches across. So the whole row across will look like this, and the row back alternating will be the same. So there's going to be a lot of bubble stitches. I'm not really sure why I decided to go with this pattern now, because I'm not a big fan of bubble stitches. They do look gorgeous though. They do. So this shawl is I would say probably halfway, more than halfway now. It's been nice and easy to work up, just half double crochets most of the time. Mindless, lovely mindless. And now we're getting into this bubble stitch pattern, which is going to give this extra sort of texture to it. And it's nice, just solid, nice shawl with a bit of texture. And yeah, that's basically where we are going towards. I do have the feeling it should be a bit longer though, but maybe that's not the case. Maybe that is not the case. We will have to see how far we get, but that is how far we are right now. And you can slowly see this sort of light teal color in here. I have the feeling it's sort of semi-teal and it's not white, but maybe it's just me. It's more like tealish than white, but I'm not 100% sure. I think so when I look at the yarn, that it has a very, very slight ever so hint of teal. So yeah, that is what I'm doing. I'm definitely progressing well on this. And this is probably then also one of the projects that I will work on if I'm not starting on a new project. it's the mindless one for the couch, which I like to have. Progressing well, seeing where we're heading, and that's how it is. So nothing all too crazy. It's just going nicely, right? But yeah, bubble stitches is not my biggest friend. So last week's video, was it last week? I think I finished the hat last week, if I do not remember wrong. And it turned out to be more like a child's hat. I have it right here. I finished that last week, and I decided to make a new one with a crochet hook, 2 sizes bigger. So this is worked up with a 5mm hook, and now I'm working up with a 6mm hook, a new one. And I'm close to finish, but I'm running out of yarn. Horror. The horror happens as I'm running out of yarn, because this is what I have left. And I feel I still need like 2 rows plus the finishing row, which is kind of sad. But the good thing is, like, when I do hold them up, you can see it's bigger. Right? Like when I hold them up like this, you can see it's bigger. It's not a child size. So that worked up really well. Also, when I fit this is so tight on my head, it's uncomfortable almost. So that's definitely a child size. This one kind of fits. It's kind of maybe a little bit on the tighter end, but it's not too bad, actually. Let's put the braid behind. It's not too bad, but I'd like a row or 2 more just to cover the ears. It's a little bit on the edge to cover ears, I think. So 1 more row would be nice. Yeah, 1 more row would be nice. Maybe I have enough. That would be a question of yarn chicken, actually, but I'm not so sure I have enough. I think I'm gonna be short for a bit. And then ideally the last row is just a row of single crochets to kind of give it a nice edge. So what I'm gonna do is on Tuesday, they are shutting down the power in the house for most of the day, like from 8:30 until 3 p.m. because they are fixing, sorry for the background noise, we had a truck driving by. Because they're fixing the power grid in the area, and therefore they're powering off the power grid for the day while they're working on it. So they're basically improving it for the future, assuming that more people will be driving electric cars, etc. So they're trying to kind of prepare the power grid for future loads. Anyhow, that means I have no power, and when I have no power, there's basically very little to do. The house will be dark, it's winter, many things. It's just gonna be a bit like not so funny. So I asked my mom-in-law if she wanted to spend the day with me, and she did, and she suggested that we should go to Kronenberg. Kronenberg is a shopping mall. She's going to go and look for a few things, but in that shopping mall, the store that sold this yarn, or the brand chain, is also there. So I kind of hope I can go there and grab a skein of this to take with me home for the purpose of finishing this hat. They do also have a few other yarns there that I'm kind of tempted at getting, because I do actually like the concept of this hat, and it's also a nice idea to maybe even change this to a different color. And the yarn worked up like this with the bigger needle definitely feels nicer than my first edition. This feels a bit more dense, where this feels more like a hat. It does have a little bit thickness to it, but that comes due to the front post, back posts I've done. And what I really like about this pattern is how this kind of moves out, so you can see how it increases with the posts. And I'm actually kind of tempted on making similar one without the herringbone stitch here in the middle, and just like make a full front post, back post, but that will take even more yarn. I've also considered doing that in a scrap hat yarn version, because the thing is, I do still have a small scrap left from this, and I will not need a full skein for finishing up this. So I might actually just get a few skeins and mix and match a bit and do something, just something crazy unique. So that is kind of laying a little bit in my background as a thought, to see how that could possibly work up. So in any case, I'm hoping they have the gray on stock, and if they have, I'll bring it. And then I kind of hope the colorway is matching, because they do tend to sometimes change up colorways and it might not match. So I'm hoping it matches, and we will have to see. So if I'm clever, I might have to weigh up this yarn, but I think if it's not the same color, then it's better for me to wait working the next round to see what they have, because optionally, if it's a different color, I could option to make it a little bit shorter. It's just for my ears then at the short end, and then keep it like that, or maybe make the edge complete different color. That's also an option, right? To keep it simple with a single line of something else. So before I'm doing anything else, or before I'm frocking, I'm just going to leave it like this, and then see if I can maybe get a skein on Tuesday, because that would be kind of nice. I think it looks really nice. It's the start of the round here. And it's not super clear how the round started and finished. So I'm really pleased with how this is working up here on the second edition. So yeah, that's good. I'm happy. I'm actually quite happy with that. What's going to happen with this one, I'm not sure if I'm donating or selling. It's kind of undecided, but that is a child's size. And this, my friends, at least fits me. It fits me. Probably small to medium. It's definitely not large. Large, should probably add a few more stitches, I think, to the width. So yeah, that's kind of positive, I think. At least I'm keen on it. So that's good. Then what I wanted to do when I went to Belgium this past weekend, where I was so busy and cold after I got home finally, it took a bit of time to warm back up, and I think the pain in the muscles and the everything was because we've been so much in the cold. It's because what happened was the hall that we were kind of setting up things in, the heating was broken and first got fixed very late in the late evening. So we had a whole day where we basically went around in like 5 degrees Celsius working. So that was cold. But then I had brought with me 2 skeins of, well, not 2 skeins, 4 skeins of each of this We Love yarn, which is 100% recycled cotton in sand and beige, because I wanted to make a new shopper bag. I already made several this autumn. You have seen them, different colors. This is the red one I have, made in the colorway 9, which is dark red. It's a full red one, and what I wanted to do was actually to make a new one, but in a mixed colorway, where the bottom here is going to be sand, and then it's slowly, gradually gonna be more and more beige as we get up. I used almost six skeins for this. It has this absolutely gorgeous cross double crochet pattern. Really been enjoying working these, and it's simple, so that's what I kind of wanted to make, because it was simple, so I didn't need to bring the pattern with me, because it's kind of up here already. But I didn't have time to do it, and now here in hindsight, I think because in about a month, well, definitely in a month I'll be there, but I'm heading to Luxembourg for an event that takes a whole week, which means that week there will also be no yarn talk video. But I'm heading to Luxembourg, and to make sure that I have something to do there when there's less time to do, it seems really logical to bring this project with me there. So I'm going to postpone this project for when I'm going to Luxembourg. I've also wanted to design a new bag, and that's like a bag of a complete different pattern. And I'm going to design it in either this gorgeous gray or in this light purple. And then I'll make a tutorial of it afterwards. I have even skeins of both. I have 8 skeins of both. That should be enough for what I'm thinking. I might even require less, but I'd rather have a skein extra than a skein too little. So I might start on that. I might. Or it could be that I do something completely else. But so far, I think the prime goals is to finish the Thoughts of Aranel Shawl and see if I can finish the hat, given based on what yarn I can dump into on Tuesday, if I can get a skein or 2 with me home. And then, well, the Aranel Shawl goes into the puff stitches, and I do want to spend a little bit of time on at least making a round or 2 or 3 on my Fleur Mosiac blanket. And then we have this design question in mind. Anyhow, if you do like talking about yarn, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel, because that really does help me on my ongoing quests of sharing my day-to-day crochet process and other stuff with you guys. It supports me. And on Monday, well, what happened was that last week Monday was Singles Day, and they added extra discounts, so I could get another 11% discount on the already discounted yarn on Hobby. So yes, today I received a parcel from Hobby, and you can get to see that unboxing on Monday, because I got discounted yarns, 50% discount plus another 11% off the discounted price. I couldn't help myself because I have plans for these yarns, and I'll share it with you in the unboxing on Monday. So take care and happy crafting. I will see you on Monday in the unboxing video, and yeah, take care until I see you again. And of course, I'll be back next week Friday with a new yarn talk video for you guys. Take care and happy crafting. Bye.